the carpet under your bare feet beside the toilet, the fuzzy lid cover on the tank, the avocado-green sink you used every single morning and never once thought was unusual. The toilet paper matched the fixtures. The towels could not be touched. The globe bulbs ran hot. None of it seemed strange at the time. Here are 11 things about the 1970s bathroom everyone accepted as completely normal. The row of bare globe bulbs around the bathroom mirror came straight out of Hollywood dressing rooms. By the mid-1970s, that look had moved from movie studios into suburban bathrooms all across America. You had seen the backstage photos in the magazines. You knew what a star looked like under those lights. And if you could put that same setup in your own house, the idea was hard to pass up. The light was even. It hit your face from every angle. Every corner caught light, no shadow hiding anything. In theory, it was the best light you could ask for first thing in the morning. In practice, those bulbs ran hot. A full strip burned through electricity, and they never went out all at once. They went out one at a time at random, so the row always had a gap somewhere. Replacing them meant finding the exact globe style at the hardware store, which was never as simple as you expected. In summer, you felt the heat standing at that mirror. But turn those bulbs on in 1975, and for a few minutes in front of that glass, the bathroom felt like somewhere else entirely. Like a dressing room, like getting ready for something bigger than a Wednesday morning. Now you replace them with an LED strip, and the light is cleaner and uses a fraction of the electricity, but it does not feel like anything. Across the room there were towels nobody was ever allowed to use. They hung on the bar nearest the sink, usually white, sometimes monogrammed, always part of a matched set your mother brought home from JCPenney or Sears. They were for looking at. That was the whole job. You washed your hands and dried them on the older towel hanging near the back, or the one behind the door, or a paper towel from the dispenser on the wall. The display towels existed to show guests that this family owned a matched set of white towels. That was it. And if you touched them, you knew about it. You smoothed them back down, refolded the edge, and hoped nobody noticed. If a guest used one by accident, your mother refolded it before dinner. Those towels probably saw less water in 10 years than a dish rag sees in a week. It sounds odd now, but walk into any 1970s home and you found them. They were in the Sears catalog right next to the coordinated fuzzy sets. They came with the bathroom the way a welcome mat came with the front door. Next to the sink, screwed into the wall at eye level, was the CUP dispenser, the little white or cream-colored cylinder, usually ribbed plastic, that held a stack of cone-shaped paper cups. You pushed the bottom one out, filled it from the tap, drank, and dropped it in the small wastebasket underneath. In theory, it was cleaner than a shared glass sitting on the rim of the sink. In practice, every family still had a shared glass on the rim of the sink. The dispenser was backup, or it was for guests, or it was just there because the bathroom felt incomplete without one. The same style of dispenser sat in every pediatrician's waiting room and every school bathroom in America. But in the 1970s, nobody thought it was odd to have one at home. It felt sanitary. It felt modern. You refilled the stack from a box under the sink, and life went on. Now you would not think to install one, but for about a decade, they were as standard as the soap dish. Speaking of which, the decorative Seashell soap dish set was its own category of bathroom object. Not just a soap dish, a set, usually 3 pieces, a dish for the bar soap, a smaller dish for a decorative guest soap, and a toothbrush holder, all in matching ceramic shaped like conch shells or scallops or sand dollars, sometimes painted pink or coral, sometimes left natural cream. The guest soaps in the smaller dish were not for guests. They were shaped like seashells or roses. Sometimes they were still in the original box. You did not use them. You looked at them the same way you looked at the display towels. The whole set lived on the back of the sink or on the edge of the tub and gathered dust around the base while the real soap sat in a plain plastic dish by the tap. Sears sold them. So did JCPenney. They came in sets of 3, 5, or 7 depending on how many surfaces you wanted covered. House and Garden ran them in bathroom layout spreads. And in millions of 1970s bathrooms, a Seashell soap dish was as much a fixture as the faucet. The frosted louvered window above the bathtub was something else nobody questions until they are an adult. A small crank window, usually aluminum framed, set high on the exterior wall above the tub. The glass was frosted or pebbled, so nobody could see in from outside. The louvers tilted open when you turned the handle. It let in air during a shower without letting in a direct view. In a bathroom with no exhaust fan or a weak one, that window was the entire ventilation system. In theory, it worked. You cranked it open, steam rolled out, and the mirror cleared faster. In practice, that window was usually painted shut by 1971. Or the crank mechanism stripped out and the handle just spun. Or it opened fine but let in cold air in November while you were still wet from the shower. The seal around the frame went soft, and in winter you felt the draft standing at the sink. But it was there in almost every post-war house built through the early 1970s, and you used it or ignored it and never thought about it twice. The bathroom in 1974 was a fully designed room. Warm underfoot, coordinated top to bottom. Lit like a dressing room, stocked with cups you barely used and towels you could not touch. Every magazine showed it that way. Every catalog sold it that way. Millions of families built it exactly that way. Then 1 decade later, the next owners came in and started pulling it all out. The carpet went first, then the avocado fixtures, then the fuzzy sets and the mirror tiles and the globe bulbs. All of it cleared away like it had never meant anything at all. But you remember exactly what that bathroom smelled like. You remember the specific weight of one of those cone cups. You remember which towel you were and were not allowed to use. That stuff does not leave you. Colored toilet paper may be the strangest of all. Scott and Northern sold rolls in pink, blue, yellow, green, and beige. You matched the paper to the towels, the rug, or the toilet itself. A pink bathroom got pink paper. An avocado bathroom got green. In 1970, that choice made perfect sense. The color came off in wet streaks at times. Some dyes could bother your skin. By the late 1980s, worries about dyes and septic tanks helped end the trend. White rolls took over. For a while, though, plain white paper looked cheap. The good bathroom had color. Then there were the separate hot and cold taps. The sink had 2 small faucets with a drain between them. One gave you cold water. The other could feel hot enough to cook an egg. You had to fill the basin and mix the water there, or move your hands back and forth between both streams. Most of us chose the second plan. Cold, hot, cold, again. You learned the timing. During winter, you washed fast because the cold tap felt like ice, and the hot tap took forever to wake up. A single mixing faucet fixed all of that. Yet those 2 chrome taps stayed in many homes for years. Behind the mirror sat the medicine cabinet. You opened it with one finger and heard that small metal click. Inside were aspirin bottles, Band-Aids, shaving cream, a glass thermometer, and medicine that may have expired during the Nixon years. The shelves smelled like rubbing alcohol and old metal. Guests opened it too. Everyone knew this. The medicine cabinet became a quiet social test. Before company came over, you moved private things to a drawer. You lined up the bottles. You wiped the mirror. Then you wondered who would peek. A squeaky hinge could give them away. Some homes had a powder room, and that little room said, "Plenty." It was usually near the front hall. Guests could use it without walking through the bedrooms. Builders and home magazines sold it as a mark of a well-planned house. Because it was small, the powder room got the loudest look. Dark wallpaper, gold fixtures, a fancy soap dish, one perfect hand towel. The room might have been 6 feet wide, yet it carried more decor than the whole kitchen. Flocked wallpaper took that idea even further. The raised velvet pattern felt soft when you ran a finger across it. Large flowers, curling vines, and fancy shapes covered the walls in red, gold, brown, or deep green. Some patterns looked like they belonged in an old hotel. In the dry powder room, flocked paper could last. Near a shower, steam got into the seams. Corners lifted. Dust clung to the fuzzy parts. Cleaning it meant rubbing a damp cloth across paper and hoping the color stayed put. Still, under those globe bulbs, the velvet caught the light. It made a small bathroom feel rich. The sunken tub was the grand prize. House and Garden showed tubs set below floor level or built into raised platforms. You walked up a step, then lowered yourself into a wide bath surrounded by tile. It looked like a private spa. Water gathered on the platform. Grout darkened around the edges. Cleaning the far side meant getting down on your knees and reaching across the tub, and that hidden step could catch your foot during a late trip to the bathroom. For a few years, none of that seemed to matter. A sunken tub meant your house had arrived. By the mid-1980s, white fixtures and plain floors were taking over. The colored paper vanished. The velvet walls came down. Those two little taps were replaced by one. But somewhere behind a newer mirror, under a coat of paint, or beneath a sheet of vinyl flooring, part of that old bathroom may still be waiting. And if you ever find a sealed pack of pink toilet paper in the back of a cabinet, you have found 1974 in 4 soft rolls. Tell me in the comments which one sent you back. And if there is something this list missed, something sitting in your memory right now that nobody ever talks about anymore, leave that below too.